Hey YouTube, GothicKingCobra52, another video. This will be one of my knowledge videos. Okay, now it's my belief that the greatest downfall to man is man itself. We do things to fuck each other over. Okay, we do. The biggest fuck up, I should say, is letting Bush run for president. Oh, no, joking, or am I? No, I don't care if he went to fucking Harvard and wrote several books. The man's an inept idiot. My fellow Americans. Their weapons of mass destruction in Iraq and Iran. We got there and a bunch of sand, a bunch of pissed off Iraqis and camels. Oh, shocker. That's why you don't do cocaine and alcohol. Do one or the other. No, I'm kidding. Don't do cocaine. Why don't you do cocaine? Let's look at Lindsay Lohan and Charlie Sheen. Look how it's fucked with their lives. Good actors. One of them is really hot, Lindsay Lohan. Alright. The other one's funny, Charlie Sheen. You know, 2.5 Men is a good show. And look how it's fucked their lives up. You know, I mean, Lindsay Lohan's sober. Good for her. She's making her life happen. But Charlie Sheen, on the other hand, I'm not sure. Anyway. Now, the biggest downfall to man, one of the biggest fuck-ups, is keeping marijuana illegal. I am a firm believer for legalization, 100%, no bullshit. Okay? You know, versus like 13 aspirins and you die. You can't overdose on pot. It's physically impossible. You literally have to smoke your own body weight, 10 times your own body weight in marijuana. You can have a lethal dosage of THC, a very small one. But if you smoke like 4 joints, you'd be like, put it out in the ashtray. Okay, I'm too stoned to care. I'm good. Fuck this shit. I'm too high, you know. A lot of people say it's a gateway drug. It's not a fucking gateway drug. People are fucking stupid. Like, oh, I wonder what the next high will be like. If you can make a weed that's just makes you so fucking high that you wouldn't want to try any other drug. Okay? I've seen a couple documentaries. So let's take, I've seen documentaries talking about, hydro weed, if you will. My idea for this, though, would be swag, super swag, creeper, chronic, and white widow. Okay, swag, super swag, creeper, chronic, and white widow, all as one. And then fuse it with 20 different fruits. While it's in that fruity mulch, pour in a little bit of salvia juice, of the highest concentrated salvia juice you can find. You know, liquid salvia juice in that fruit while it fuses, and then it grows as that. You smoke that shit, one hit will have your ass fucked. You'll be on the floor laughing your ass off, seeing colors for 20 minutes. You'll be high as shit for 8 hours. And then you'll be hungry as shit afterwards. You'll probably eat out an entire fucking grocery store of food, but that's beside the point. If you can make weed like that, which you can, I'm sure it's possible, you should take all the seeds from the swag, the super swag, the creeper, the chronic, and white widow, all 5 different plants, all seeds from all the plants, you know, plant them in the ground, and then put take a blender and blend in a bunch of fruity mulch, you know, banana, strawberry, berry, cherry, blueberry, grape, watermelon, kiwi, lime, lemon, you know, peach, just different fruits. And it'd be like, you could call it Skittles. No, fuck that. Call it Fruity Roller Coaster 5. Yeah. Call it Fruity Roller Coaster 5 because it's got the 5 weeds and it's got a fruity roller coaster, man. Think about it. You'd be seeing colors for 20 minutes straight. You'd be like, what the fuck is going on? Dude. And then once that 20-minute high of colors wears off, you're just high as shit. Like, dude. Put on some Pink Floyd and you're just like, oh, fuck me, this is awesome. Like, if you're a stoner, I think you'd appreciate this movie right here. The Wall by Pink Floyd. It's a good movie. I've never watched it stoned. No, I'm joking. Or am I? No, it's actually a really good movie to watch. I think stoners would appreciate this. So before you watch it sober, and then the next time you're in the mood to watch it, load a fat bowl of weed, smoke it, and then watch it. You'll trip balls. I'm willing to bet. Pink Floyd's just awesome. Anyway, and let's just say, for example, that you're a newlywed couple. You have a kid. It's 2 o'clock in the morning. You finally got your bratty ass kid to bed. You're like, anything else before we go to bed? It's like, let's see, the bills are paid, the house is clean, want to have sex? Yeah, let's have sex. Like, yeah, finally get some sex, you know. That's right, mom and dad, you know. So you're getting all making out, just getting in the moment, and lo and behold, your kid walks in. Mommy, there's a monster in my bed, you know, in the closet. So like, oh fuck, now I gotta deal with this shit, okay. So you can see the usual bullshit. There's no monsters. Ghosts can't hurt you, and they don't exist. You know, whatever. There's monsters. All right. Look at our society. Jeffrey Dahmer, Hannibal Lecter, President Bush, Jack the Ripper, Charles Manson, Michael Jackson. What? No, I'm joking. That's for another video. You know. So they're not okay. So your kids got the false hope of ghosts don't exist. If they did, they can't hurt you. Now your kid's an adult. He gets his own house, and his house is haunted. And he's thinking, holy shit, what the fuck just happened? Because the ghost just came by and threw a plate at him or some shit. It's like he's calling his mom and dad. You told me ghosts don't exist, and one just threw a fucking plate at me and growled at me and shit. Fucking liars. God. Or. You know, kids, my best advice for kids would be to ask questions. Don't believe a fucking word of the school system. Fuck the system. They're a bunch of fucking liars, dude. Straight up. Don't be afraid to ask questions, alright? That's all I'm going to say. Okay? Now, if you can ask where the babies come from. Oh, the Curious George question, you know? You know, to go, well, let's see. Well, Mommy and Daddy want to have sex. This is where Daddy does all kinds of crazy shit to your mom's body that involve his penis in his mouth. I stick my penis in her vagina until my penis ejaculates sperm, which is the little white stuff that comes into your penis, which you'll discover when you start masturbating at the age of 13 because you can't get no pussy because you haven't have a girlfriend yet. And then the sperm goes into her egg and her stomach, and then it develops into a baby. 9 months later, a baby boy pops out. Now, how does it come out? Well, let's just see. Now, either it'll come out of her vagina or out of her stomach. If the vagina can't be pushed down, the doctors will cut open her stomach and pull the baby out and cut the cord. You don't have to be that detailed about it. You just have to come from mommy. That's all you have to say. And some parents are like, well, store it with to the bottom of a garden, and then now your kid's out at the bottom of the garden going, I want a baby brother, I want a baby brother or sister, you know, bullshit. Honesty, you know, shows you trust your kid, you know what I'm saying? Trust, you know. A classic example of this would be, or anything like I'm talking about right now, is school shootouts. Now, your kid's in junior high, he's being picked on, you know, and the schools are all like, you have a right to be harassment-free. Bullshit. They waste money to say that by a spokesperson and all that. Because what it really comes down to is the kid goes to report it like they're supposed to. Walk away, ignore it, and tell the teacher you trust. And the teacher's got a stack of homework this fucking high off the desk. And look at the homework, and they're going, the kid comes in, so-and-so's picking on me, looks at the homework, I'll deal with it later. Later never comes, okay? The kid then goes home to deal with fighting parents, and on top of all that, he's hitting puberty for the first time. Brilliant. Poor kid. So he asks his mom, Mommy, can I have Grand Theft Auto for the Xbox? Sure. He goes, no, I'm all for kids playing games to relieve stress on the game like that. But here's the thing. If you cannot tell reality from fantasy, you shouldn't be playing games like that to begin with. It doesn't have to be Grand Theft Auto. But here's the thing. If you can do things in the game you can't do in real life, and you can't distinguish reality between fantasy, you shouldn't be playing games like that at all to begin with. So now the kid just comes home ready to play that game to relieve stress. Fine, you know, it's all good. He's venting his anger, I guess, you know, it's all good. But then he thinks, I'll get even with the popular kids. I'm going to make them pay, you know. So then he brings a gun to school and kills everybody. He ends up killing himself or going to jail for it. And then the parents, after missing all the red flags, which are like little, you know, just like the kid's timer and his psychic going, this kid's about to do something crazy. Watch out, you know. The cameras are on the parents. So, Mr. and Mrs. So-and-so, have I felt your kid shooting up the school? And the parents are going, thinking, oh, we're idiots, the red flags, oh my god, what the fuck were we thinking? But no, they don't take responsibility for themselves. They go and they go, what do they say? Drum roll, please. We'd like to blame the guns, the mass media, and the Grand Theft Auto for creating a monster. Like, wait a second, you're not taking responsibility for your kid's actions because you raised them wrong? Oh my god! But no, the media doesn't see that. They just go, yeah, they eat it up like dogs at the feeding hole, man. It's ridiculous. Absolute ridiculousness. Yeah. Wow, that's a mouthful in under 9 minutes and 12 seconds. So the point being is that, you know, if your son or daughter can't now distinguish reality from fantasy, they're not mature enough to handle that game. Straight up. I don't care what they say. You know, all my friends are playing it. Bullshit. All my friends were playing it at that age. And I was playing it at that age anyway, at my friend's house. And it didn't affect me. I never not to do that shit in real life. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. And here's one last tidbit for my YouTube fans. Let's just say you got a girlfriend online, hypothetical, and you go off to college, and you meet a girl that you just fall in love with, that she connects with you deeply. Now, what do you do? And you two start to date, and what do? Well, here's what you do. You pick which girl you want to have. You don't keep going with the same girls. That's bullshit. That's called cheating. That's not acceptable. Okay? Now, hopefully you're man enough to say with one of the girls, hey, I'm kind of in a relationship with someone else right now, so I'd like to break up with you. We can still be friends and everything. I just want you to be hurt and shit, because it really just disgusts me when I have to hear about girls bitching complaining because their man cheated on her with some other girl. The situation were reversed. How would you feel, guys? You know what I'm saying? Your girlfriend goes off to college and you go to visit her one day and she's in bed with some other guy. It'd fucking hurt your feelings, wouldn't it? You know, you could say, oh, I'd suck it up, but deep down inside you'd be pissed. You wouldn't cry about it, but you'd be pissed. You'd be like, what the fuck? You could have at least broke off with me. I would have understood at least, you know. But, you know, come on. Because, then what happens is when she finds out you're dating some other girl, and the girl finds out you're dating the other girl, those two get pissed off at you, and you lose both girls. Because it shows you're not mature enough to handle one relationship. You're gonna have more than one. So I call you Tiger Woods. That's funny. But the point being is that you shouldn't cheat on your woman. No, fuck that, dude. Now, I'm going to Job Corps, and hypothetical, if this were to happen to me, I'd be the bigger man, make the right decision. You know, I wouldn't cheat on my girlfriend on Facebook. Fuck that, dude. You know, or you know, if this girlfriend of mine that I'm in Job Corps, this hasn't happened yet, but if it did, you know, and she connected with me deeper, and you know, I would break it off with my girlfriend on Facebook. I will. I'm not saying this hasn't happened. This might not happen, but if it does happen, I'm fully prepared to take responsibility and be the bigger man, because I don't want to break her heart like that. You know, it's gonna suck for her and it's gonna suck for me because we've had this great connection on Facebook and shit. But I'd hate for it to be like that when she comes to visit me in Job Corps and this other girl finds my other girlfriend on Facebook and just, you know, I don't want to deal with that kind of drama. So this hasn't happened yet. But if it does happen, you know, I'm man enough to make the right decision and not cheat. You know what I'm saying? Because cheating is just so dishonest. It really is. It's just fucking dishonest. Just fucking honest. Excuse me. The point being is that our society is pretty fucked up. Okay. Straight up. You know, especially when I used to work at Burger King, right? And the parents would let their kids raise hell in the play area, not give a shit or two dams of what the fuck was going to happen, and just leave her in a total disaster. Now, if you got a birthday party, it's one thing. If you got a little bit of cake on the floor or whatever, that's fine. But if you're purposely doing it just because you don't care, because, oh, I'll get 5 minutes to myself and just on my laptop or whatever, while my kid wreaks havoc and spreads and makes a huge mess all over the place. Who has to clean it up? People at Burger King have to. That's not cool to take advantage of them. Not cool at all. Okay? I hate having to clean lobby when that happened, you know. Me and this sweet old lady, Miss Helen, I worked with at Burger King. We both did lobby, and she agreed with me that these parents have no responsibility for their kids. You know, it's just ridiculous. If these parents can't take responsibility for their kids, they just let them do whatever the fuck they want, and their kid learns no moral values of society, that they get their way whatever they want. And you wonder why we create killers, right? So it's not saying that just because your kid do whatever he or she wants, they'll create a killer. It's just saying it's raising them badly, you know? You gotta have some discipline in the family. I already made this video, and I was preparing to preview it and post it, but lo and behold, my computer froze while on Facebook, so I had to shut my fucking computer down, okay? And lo and behold, I'm remaking it. No big deal, life goes on, but I'm just saying. It was kind of frustrating. And that's tough, you know, in that kind of situation where you're dating this one girl, but you're not sure how you feel about the other girl. You have to be honest with yourself, and then make the right decision, and then think, am I going to feel like shit for doing this 10 years down the road, you know what I'm saying? So, it's your call, but don't cheat on your woman. Not cool. Okay, you see how that affects people? Tiger Woods, for instance. You know, I'm my guitar playing whatnot, check out my channel, see what you think. I tell them this is GothicKingCobra52 with another video. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day.